Hi, this is this is Zinc, and this is game development with Godot and C Sharp because Godot script is annoying, or just simply used it so long time ago that I forgot. Anyways, we have a thing here. I can draw arrows. Yeah, I can draw arrows. I have some elements here, and I want to make it to do a thing like, okay, I hover off on, I draw an arrow, arrow start should snap to the center of this element, and then when I drag it like this, it should snap to another element. Yeah. And when I release it, another element which should be slowly moving. No idea why this is moving so slowly. 2D, is it the map scene? Orbit speed 5. 50. No, 500. Oh yeah, yeah. So we have a thing which circles a center object, and I'll just want to like, I drag it here, bam, it now circles this object. Fairly simple. Small goals, small goals. Okay, let's play the music. Should be fine. Oh, wait, I forgot to run one of my tools. Yeah. Start monitoring. Okay, so we have area, and I want for this area to snap. Technically, should also have a map or something. How to detect a global collision? Or more like set the global focus element? Right, let me add a text. Goals and stuff. Word font. How to snap the part of the arrow to the specific area 2D. Yeah. So this is likely going to be... Why the font is so huge? Okay, that's too little font of 72. Okay. So that is my goal. Yeah. That is my goal. Simple, clear goal. How to snap start of the arrow to the specific area 2D. Maybe you need to have a game manager or use the groups. Okay, theory number 1. How can I use the groups? Or more like I need to rename in this one? I need a tutorial. Good. I need to open documentation. Good. Where's my documents? Open. Godot, C Sharp, global groups. This is basic. Whoops. Basically, what it is updating the global state of like. It kind of needs a dependence injection. Kinda. Not sure. I don't want to do this at the moment. To be. Okay, groups. Why JetBrains has a guide on it? Groups in Godot work like tags. Okay, groups in Godot work like tags in other software. Tags. You can add node to as many groups as you want. Then in code, you can use a scene tree to get the list of nodes in a group. Call a method on all nodes in a group. Okay, I'm getting notified that I need to take a break, but I will not be taking a break because I just started. Yeah. Call a method on all nodes in a group. Okay, this is useful feature to organize large scenes and decouple code. Well, technically, yes. It is like, I guess, using a singleton, but without actually using a concrete class. You just use a name. Probably. I don't have my face interacted much. Okay. Groups are created by adding a node to a new group name. Okay. Line 2D. Let's rename it. It's not a line 2D. It's cursor arrow. What do you call it? What do you call a thing which is this arrow? Pointer. UI pointer. Me, sure. UI pointer. Because I point here and then I draw out and say, okay, pointer, go here. Maybe, sure. Let's just call it anything different. UI to differentiate and pointer. Okay, we have UI pointer. Press this. Groups are created by adding a node to a new name, group name, and likewise they're removed by removing all the nodes from a given group. There are two ways to add or remove nodes to a group during design by the node doc in the editor, just using this one, or the global groups in the project settings. Project settings, globals, groups, here. Oh, okay, it's the same thing. Okay. Select a node in the scene and dock and click add button plus symbol. I could add the hover area to the UI interactives. Likely. It's the same group, so they will be able to know about each other. Maybe. Who knows? That's where we experiment. Yeah, doing the, I guess, fun stuff, more fun stuff, like UI design rather than data, because no one wants to look at the data. Everyone sees only the what's in front of you. Okay, you can create new groups using groups tabs in the node doc. Select a node in the scene doc and then click add. Done. And yeah, just that's basically. You should see the new groups appear in the groups tab under scene groups. If the global option was unmarked, okay, that's just useless. All groups present in the project were marked as global, created from any scene will be visible under global groups. Okay. The same underlying logic is used for both global and scene groups. Groups will with the same name are considered one and the same name. This features purely organizational. Okay. We'll see how it goes. And how it works with the... I guess in this case, maybe, for example, if I have a star element and I mark it as like renderable, it would be far easier to just pull it out from anywhere and just render it. Maybe. You can manage groups in the global groups doc and project settings, and you will be able to add new global groups or change existing groups and descriptions. Okay. Using encode C#, please. Thank you. Okay, we have UI pointer. It's probably not going to be super efficient, but I don't care. So if I open UI pointer code, it should be in here. Ta-da! Stuff. You close, which is line 2D. Should probably rename it to UI pointer. Visual Studio kinda crashing. Make sure the file is also renamed. What are you doing, mate? Mate, stop it. What? Fix the file name. What the hell is happening? Rename file. Save. Okay. UI pointer. I need to move my documentation to our window. So you can also manage groups from scripts. The following code adds a node to which you can attach a script to the guards group as soon as it enters the scene tree. Okay, so for example, I could say, sure, let's make a ready function here. Public override ready, not the sprite position. but add to group. Sure, ships. So it'd be easier to, I guess, retrieve the ships. It's very unusual in the way I used to program. This one is just like global name. Okay, imagine you're creating an infiltration game. When an enemy spots the player, you want all the guards and the robots to be on alert. In the fictional example below, we use scene called group to alert all enemies that the player was spotted. Is it signal? So in this case, alert, enter alert mode. On player discovered. So in this case would be a hover area in the star. Hover area. Mouse entered would be like position, get 3, add user signal, call the ref, connect, call groups, UI show tooltip. Okay, that is interesting. So call group, it would be a group called UI interactives. Yeah. And string name on star hover. Okay. Position. Very weird, but you know, on star hover. Not this, but would be a position. You see, the issue with this kind of coding is like you're saying, hey, call this. What is this? What kind of parameter does this require? So things may get messy quite a bit, but knowing the functionality of it, especially for UI, and I think that would help quite a bit. Okay, so we have, okay, the above code calls the function enter alert mode. So in our case, should call on star hover. So technically the hover area should not be in the UI interactives because it's not a group. But it will notify all the groups. So for example, the mouse and stuff. Go back to UI pointer and public I don't know, is it void just do the on star hover and taken vector to the star position. Endpoint equals star point. I don't think that's correct. Start point equals start position. That's about it. And visible also should not be there, but start point should be there. It's start position. That's about it. How is it called? No idea. Let's read more. The above code calls the function enter alert mode on every member of the group guards. To get a full list of the nodes in the guards group as an array, you can call scene tree get nodes in the group. Okay, I don't technically need it, but we'll see. The scene tree class provides many more useful methods to interact with scenes that know the hierarchy and groups. It allows you to switch scenes easily or reload them, quit the game, or pause it and unpause. Yes. And unfortunately, this page of documentation does not have anything in terms of like, hey, how do you actually add the method? And we got the print pointer starts at point. Okay, let's actually add it. Ship position comment is out. I don't need this one. Nodes only in your node scene group yet. So workaround. Of course, workarounds. Manage groups. And okay, what's the next one? No, that's not managing groups. How's it called then? Because it has no documentation on it. So if I have UI pointer and UI interactives, project settings, groups, notify about changes, I guess, something like that. I don't know, let's just try calling it and see if that helps, because the documentation does not have a thing on. Sure, it will call a method. How does it know about the method though? AI pointer. Is it because the scene resource is incorrect? Yep. Attached script. Load. Good. Script attached because the name changed. Let's enable the Godot. And we start it. Click. Of course it does not work. How do you... ships. Start tooltip. That's not start tooltip. Star. Godot paint. Okay, mouse entered. Try again. It's kind of difficult to show when it's like multiple things at the same time. We have here, oh, okay, it's calling, so entered and should be calling. Call group. Group. Why it's not working like that? Does it need also to be a global class? I set pointer to the global class. And obviously it does not work. Okay. Can't... I have an error. Invalid UI ID. Project tools. Orphan resources. Definitions, keys. Without explicit ownership. The UI upgrade project files. Yes. Let's try restarting it. Because the ID kind of broke, so let's see, run it. Okay, that worked. It takes a while for your OBS to detect that a running application. Does it need to be a signal? Inspector. That is what I'm not sure about. Global class. Ooh. Group. Nope. Okay. Google to the rescue. Godot. Groups. C#. How to what? If I go back to the star, move it to star in here by hiding Godot. How to call group. Specifically in C# because it's very unclean. Okay. The issue isn't group is declared on the node class, but the collider is defined. You to cast it to the node. That's not the problem. The problem is that I don't know. There's the caller side, very clear, very easy, but not the receiver side. In the script and tutorial, groups are used to alert guards when a player is caught. Function discovered. Get 3 call group guards player discovered. Exactly. How would one make a function like this? I mean, how would you make a function that would move all the guards? Not you have to pass any parameters. Exactly, the same issue. Yeah, you do call something. What is this? Call to group. A C# method must be in snake case when referring to built-in Godot methods. Why? In snake case? Do you mean like everything in snake case? Like inside the node inside this tree added to the given group. Get tree. Call group. Maybe it's because it's not in the tree. Void call group string blah 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 variant null. I can pass different arguments. Okay. Undiscovered. God, player was discovered. I cannot believe. On star hovered. And then we do the same here. Vector to position. I know it's kind of weird, but maybe. Show Godot. It shows actually. Bam! Nothing happens. Player. Self. What if we pass this and this will be a star? Position. Position. Save. Right? Well, come on, load. Player was discovered at the guard scene. Get transfer whatever you. If you don't pass the player to it with self. There's a lot of ways to do this. Ultimate final opinion without parameters. Best options to slightly decouple it and returns quickly. Although arguably alerting every single guard in the level when the player is spotted is bad, still a key mechanic. Obviously. Okay. Scene, please run. Click. Click, click. Nothing happens. Why? On star hover. Does it need to be override void? Nope. Does it need to be a signal? I don't know. I do not know. Blah 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 methods blah 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 node added node configuration or the name scene changed. Yeah, sure. because call in group. Call in group. Set group. Does it need to be in the same group? But then it called itself. That's incorrect. Nodes that cannot call method. In C#, method must be in snake case when referring to built-in Godot methods. Prefer using names exposed in method name class. Method name class. Method name. Method name. It's not an attribute. Cache string names for methods contained in this class for fast lookup. Okay. Method name. How do you define it then? Very not clear. Class to avoid allocating new string name on each call. Or like do this like new method name. Nope. Let's do a thing like I can't find this. Hey, hi, hello. A new thing. How do you call group method and consume it in Godot C# 4.6.1? How? Please tell me, because I have no idea. And that would be amazing if the documentation would show it, but it does not. Call group. Main loop, scene, blah blah blah. That's just basically just useless. Currency, call group. String name method variant. It's so little wrote on this. Calling side already correct. Receiving side. Yeah. Should be okay, but it's not. Shows class be partial. It is partial. I think it's partial. It is partial. To register with engine, the method must be public so the Godot reflection can find it and invoke it. The parameter type must match what the call group is called, star in this case. Yeah, It is star. A node must be in the group. Don't have an editor or in the code. Add group interactives. It is. Yeah, done all that, but the method is still not called. It's like kind of like using mediator pattern, which is like you have a singleton which just yells into the void, hey, take this parameter, or hey, this event happened, and just someone will answer. Should bring some drinks. Because, yeah, I guess even with the, okay, with Godot script probably would be easier to do this. Probably. Because it would just work. A C# is kind of a workaround for a lot of things, has a lot of workarounds. That's more problematic, but it's way easier to understand C# than Godot script. BGS, what the hell are you looking for? The scene, probably. Home star map scene. There is no such thing. Oh wait, there is. Map.pscn and star. Yeah, using the wrong parameter. It doesn't seem to be generated. Scene setup. That's my scene, yep. It has stuff in it. Not much useful stuff. Okay, probably need to switch my pillow. That's better. Get content UI interactives. Fix it. The group name in map scene is now UI interactives to match the call group in star. Was it this just a typo? Could be. Reload from disk. Of course it was a typo. As always, check for typos. How can you check for typos if you cannot read? You don't then, I guess. Let's go. Run it. Show Godot. Bam. Ah, it worked. Whoa. Now look. Okay, it does not work. Well, it works in terms of like I see in the output. Why may Windows stop working? Window, please. Okay. So this does not work. No. It does not. Actually, I can just reduce the window size a bit so I could actually see what's happening. Yeah. But this in the bottom, that does seem to work. Don't need this one. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. That is very good. So, typos. So now the question is, if I delete this one, okay, and see the group, group just UI. Go back to the star code, just in here, star, and say UI, colon group UI. Very simple. It's a global group. Why is it still saying it's a... Yeah, it's in the group UI. Project settings, global as groups. That's just global, so we need this one. Delete this group. Save. Try run it. Show Godot. Bam. Ah, it worked. Good. Of course, the start is not correct. Because currently when I start, mouse pressed, get local mouse position. No, we don't actually get local mouse position. Stop this one. We don't get local mouse position because that's not relevant at the moment. The endpoint will be relevant though. Right, show Godot. Now, okay, it does work. Good. We have snapping. Let's go, snapping. And it works very well. Yeah, it does decouple the code. It does. Do I like it how it decouples the code? Maybe. Gets the job done, and I would say gets the job done fairly easily. Maybe like these call methods should be global. Well, not a global, but like maybe a dictionary. Okay, I'll start a hover. Unhoverable. A hover area. Okay, that is this. This is specifically star, so technically should be only hover area, probably. We'll see how it goes. So what I want to do is run it again. This, yeah, should not go. Should not be like that, but it does not matter. We go back here. Now it should be snapping through here. We snap, and on release, UI. UI. We add the global group. Why cannot add the group? Groups. add the group, call it a ship. We have a ship. And this is a ship. Ship. We go into the ship. Ship code. Ship code. We go into the ship code. Public void set targets. Set target position, vector target. Target position, this. Why? Target position. Okay, I'm getting notified that I need to take a break, short break, to have a drink. I'm starting using my own application, which is actually, I think that's a good idea to do that thing like window capture, rest reminder, break time. Okay, capture audio too. And that is my stuff. And I will be taking a break for a bit. Mute myself. Remember to unmute. Hi, I'm back, and that was my demo of my application, which is a rest reminder. And now I press space and it dismisses it. And it does not allow input on this screen, so yeah. Wish list. Oh, yeah. Where was I? Oh, ship. Set target position. Target position. That's not target position, it's general position. Position. So, when I stop, if it's dragging and I release, query draw process and get local mouse position, direction normalize, query draw, that is just draw. If event is not a mouse button. Okay, this is where it's probably needs to be called. So get tree. Calling group. Ship. Method set target position. I really wish I did not need to call it in snake case. And the argument will be endpoint. Let's see. Ah, it teleported. Wait, you didn't see it. Look, I draw this, and now say, hey, orbit this. And it orbits this. Let's go. Okay, 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 okay. It kind of jumps very rapidly. Would be amazing if it actually flow, but that's honestly does not matter at the moment. What matters at the moment that the ship is on the location it needs to be, so that all the logic data can be actually be processed. It does not show the flying a ship. Flying of a ship is not the main feature of the game. Okay. Okay, okay. Now I need 2 stars? Or no, 2 hover areas probably. Yeah, I think we need to transfer. Because my point now would be, okay, I draw this, and now if I approach here, it would snap to this location. But it does work, seem to be. Again, I'm very not used to this kind of calling methods. Like, this feels kind of wrong. Yeah, this feels very powerful if you know what you're doing, but feels very wrong. Especially if, like, sure, if you want to do some unit tests, good luck with that. Not happening. And that's why you need to separate data layer at some point. Target position. Okay, so now we have hover area with the collision shape. This needs to be its own scene. Does it need to be as sides to the planet itself? Probably not. Could be. Easy. It's easy to implement. Okay, so say branch as a scene, and we say UI and say behaviors. Hover area. Yeah. Reset position. Yes. Save. So we have the hover area. And the hover area needs a script attached to it. And we do the same. Mostly I think I'll be organizing by a feature. Okay, we have attached hover area. So what I did is from the main map, created a scene called hover area. And I attached the script to it. Attach the script to it. It will not belong to a scene, but it will be using this. Go to the star. It's a area 2D. Would be a global class as always. I really don't like this, but I was not the one who made the engine, so it's okay. Hover area. I think I also need to export public and size. Equals, sure, 100 pixels. Collision shape. Hover area collider. Export public collision shape 2D collider. Get set. inspector, we'll need to build it first. And collider. Collider. Does the collider have shape? Dot shape. Circle shape 2D, show radius equal size, and collider dot shape equals shape. Simplified, use var. Okay. Dot shape. This is likely also could be a tool. Likely. So it would have the updates, I guess. Or not. No idea. There's no namespaces though, which is kind of annoying. By default, there is no namespaces. There's tap water. Okay, that makes me a shape. We have a process. We have a hover area, which is this. And we need to have a methods. Mouse entered. On mouse and public override void on mouse entered. Mouse entered. Yes. Never sure. Do you need call it like this? Where is my internet? C# base class override when to call base dot method. If you want to retain the functionality of the base class, I think I do want to. So same here would be base ready. Mouse entered. And then we do the simple thing. UI get. We just call this. Yeah. Yeah. That is basically it, honestly. I need to build it first. Come on, build it. Can you build it? No. No, we can't. Set the collider object, save it. So we have the scene. Now we can add to the scene two hover areas. One is here. And we add another hover area. And another area is here. Yeah. Entered. And then we draw it. Oh, they're invisible. I forgot about this. I also keep forgetting that I need to switch the views, but anyways. Hover area, collider, size. We go to the map, and I add it to areas. Now we make visible collision shapes, because I do want to actually see what's happening. Run it. We have our shapes. Now we do this. And now we have errors. Oh, I know why. Because hover area is calling the area itself, which is not good. We actually need to call the position of the area. Position of the area, and we go back here. Yeah, I changed to the position of the area. We go back into UI pointer and change it to vector 2D, because that's all that matters. Position. Yeah. So, and now I should be able to see a behavior like, come on, run it. It would jump, the starting point should be jumping from one area to another area. Yep. Of course, this one does not work anymore because it's incorrect. Look, I almost make a big game out of this behavior already. Yeah, bonk, 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 bonk. So it's very close, and we do this, and now to this. Okay. It actually looks quite smooth. Looks fun. Even just like messing around. Okay. So this is this behavior. Now we need to snap. Yeah, we need to snap it. If we are still dragging, we are updating the endpoint. Back in here, updating the endpoint on star hovered. So now we need to have a kind of like state machine. Position. I guess it's just nice when everything will be just integers. So it's very easy to actually manage this. Okay, on start hovered position, we need a state. need a enum state, I guess. State. The state will be what? We start with 0 state, which is should not be able to drag it. None selected, one selected. Or just state none. Why it is dragging? We already have a state is dragging. So if we is dragging and we on start hovered, if it's dragging, then the endpoint equals not start point position. If it's dragging, endpoint equals position. And else, if it's not dragging, then the start equals position. Kinda. I think that may cause a bit of bad things. On star hovered. No, I also probably need on star exit hover. So it would go back unsnap. Mouse entered. Mouse exit. UI on star unhovered. Yep, that is the thing. On star unhovered. If we stopped position, I don't think I need arguments for this one. It's just I unhover the star, it will just go to the mouse itself. Mouse entered. On star unhovered. Maybe instead of the state like here, I could just have a private bool. Is hovering. Just is hovering. What's is hovering? Is hovering equals true. Here is hovering equals false. So let's see. Our mouse is mouse is here. we are hovering, but we're not dragging. We press. Now we are hovering and dragging. Now we are not hovering. Also not using the parameter. Oh, I know. I do actually need position. So, if unhovered, we set the start point, we enter new area, set the end point. Okay. When we leave the area, we still are dragging, but we're not hovering anymore. So technically this should be direction. Endpoint. Yeah, if not hovering, only then update the position. Let's see. Keep forgetting to switch the views. Come on. So, not hovering. We leave the interactivity area, so we're dragging out. Just dragging out, yeah. Then we enter and it snaps. Perfection. And now, that's one thing. And if we now exit the area, and then it goes again. But what if we enter the same area? It disappears. I would say that's okay. That's a good behavior. We snap to places. We can still have visibility that something is happening. Yeah, snap to places. And now if I release, it orbits. Let's go. So it orbits. Okay, now the thing, if I need not to draw it when it's like outside. On start hovered. If mouse pressed, it's dragging through. If it's dragging, if it's not dragging, return. And if it's not dragging, and if it's not hovering, return. I think, wait. And is not hovering. Return. But now there will be a problem. If it's not dragging and not hovering. So, I keep forgetting the code. So, if it's not dragging, don't draw. Makes sense. If it's not hovering, which is again, we are not on a input. Start point. How do you set the start point? Okay, do this one. Draw. I don't know. How do you set the start point again? I don't get. Anyways, go back. We have our draw points, we have a snapping. Ow. That's not a good behavior. Hover area. Start. Hey, group yourself. Thank you. Hover area here. Duplicate. Hover area here. Run. Why is it all so big? Ah, I know how to do this. Go back to the code. We have is dragging. True. Start hovering. Wait a minute. What I was trying to do? We have a mouse. It's going on here. We enter the area. Set the start point. And we start dragging. It's like should be a one-shot event, like we enter the area, we set the start point. Or when we exit the area, the position should be new vector 2 0 0. Yeah. We exit position. And we set the start position only if it's if start point is equals vector 0, or then only then set the position. I don't know. Ta-da! Go back. Ta-da! Ta-da! Okay, this works. Punk. Good. This works. This works. This does not. Because that's the wrong area. Wrong object. Punk. Punk. So we have a travel here or here. Now, there was some weird activity here. Punk. Punk. Oh, I think I know what happens. It just skips the frame. If I do this quickly, it does not register. Which is, I guess, it's fine. Okay, release it. Start position. Well, it does kind of work in a way, kinda, but not very kinda. It's still kind of buggy. Let's see. Maybe like this. Start point, end point. Endpoint. So this is if we release it. So this is hovering, will also be false. Nope, that's not correct. We can still hover, even though we are not. So we hover over the area. Then we leave the area, we're not hovering anymore. And we need to keep updating. Maybe you need states. They do have states. It's these two. Okay, we press a mouse button. Start visible. Why the endpoint is start point? That's once. Oh, it's just because it starts at this. Okay. And of course we need to set it the start point. If we are hovering, which means we are over the area, then only then we set the start point, the current mouse position, and set the end point to this. And only then, if we are hovering, we can actually say we are also dragging and we also visible. Yeah, so that's our starting point. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, and if we release the mouse while we were dragging, then we're saying, okay, move the ship. And start hovered. So in this case, I don't need this else. And I only update the position, which is a snapping, if I am already dragging the mouse. The starting point should be already set. What about here? If we are over the star, and we leave the star, I don't need any of this. Maybe. Well, let's see. Good. This is a display issue. Good. Snaps, left. Snaps, left. Go back here. Snaps in between can be moved. Once it's out of screen, it's out of screen. Now if we release it here, it orbits. If we try to draw in here, it does nothing. Amazing. Open up here. draw. Did my window just... Okay. Stretch. That already has been 45 minutes? Damn. That would be doing more progress. I guess it's still fine. Yeah, so if you're interested in this reminder application, visit it on Steam. It's called Rester. It basically blocks you from doing anything. I guess currently it just has one screen support, but also has other features. You can set the audio effects, music. You can set the video for the reminder, custom text, supports all, I guess, all fonts. You can customize the timers. It has some statistics. And yeah, it's basically makes sure you actually go and take a rest, not like, oh, I need to work 10 hours. No, it actually follows you with the rest. Now, for example, I can press anything here and it actually blocks the input, which is what hopefully will give you a push to go and take your break. It also has reminders for lunch. Again, customizable, so you can set it at whatever. And I currently also developed one of the plugins. Currently it will be not released at the moment, just I don't know. I will need to learn how to use the workshop or DLCs, which also pauses these reminders. For example, if you have Teams meetings, this is what I made a plugin for it. It basically, without the connection to Teams, Microsoft Teams, you can get a pause. You just basically read the logs from the app, and it just pauses these reminders. Yeah. So this is my application I mean. And for example, if I press space, it does nothing because the timer is not out. You can actually cancel using escape, but the thing is, why this key combination? Position on the keyboard. Generally, you probably would be like using your keyboard by holding it over the space anyways, so it's easier to press space than press escape. Again, being a tiny different motivation to not actually cancel all of it, but you also can have what? I don't know. Yeah, we'll be slowly developing this one. It will be released fairly soon, so go and wishlist. That would help. You don't even have to get it. It's even just wishlisting is good enough. But if you think there are people who would be interested in this, feel free to share. Yeah, it's called Rester. And yeah, you should be able to find it on Steam. Yeah. App. Drawing things. Okay, another big stretch. Other side. 2 stretches. And the timer has run out. I may change some things that would show that, hey, you also spend more extra, maybe. Or maybe it should be like really tiny because it's the college, you know. So press space and it nicely just goes out. So this works, this works, this works, this works. Release it. It releases to our place. That is not good. So that's a bug. Buggeroo. Okay. Okay, now we go back to the code. I don't think we can actually do hot reload, but anyways, still need to cancel. Only send the set target position if it is hovering. Yeah. Kinda messy. Kinda. Process. If it's not hovering, redraw. Maybe? May need to figure out how to... Okay. Works. Release does not do a thing, which is good. I don't want to have it random. Okay, I see an issue. The start point is not the correct one. Or more like the start point is not set. So do we need to set it? If it's not hovering? If it's not dragging? Okay, maybe. That is not correct. Okay. It is not correct in here. Okay, it snaps. Good. It snaps. I release it. Good. And draw from here. Does nothing. Good. This works. Of course, that is, I guess, engine issues. Now we can do this. And do this, and do this, and do this, and do this. And do this. Do this, and do this. Good. Seems to be working now. Good. Very good. Basically do event driven game. Okay. Now it travels. Good. Amazing. Oh. This one could also be a reference to a object which is hovering. Let's see. Okay, I need to commit the changes then. Economy chasing. We do this, we do this, and we do this, and we do this, and we do this, and we do this. UI interactivity. Moving ship by snapping between areas. Yeah. Why is it not showing that window? It's fine. I need stuff. Push the changes. Because I'm doing it on main. Because I'm a single developer, so yeah. Okay. So I can draw things. Where's my book? I actually wrote a lot of features on the book. How much time is it? It's an hour 50. Book. It's on the side. Yeah. Apparently have game design document. I actually did do that, and I did that on paper because it feels better. It feels way better to do it on paper. Okay. So we have interactivity, and we can travel between the nodes. Okay. That is very good. We have map generators, for example. We have systems. What do I have a sprite? A hover area. Mm, 2D. Call it fog of war. I don't know, it's not entirely useful, but this kind of UI element, I don't know. Fog of war. Fog of war, it's just experimenting. We need to have a sprite, I think. It will be animated sprite, but that's how it is now. Quick load. Okay, we have these kind of sprites. Smoke. Nope. Have like this. Look, it's a war. Okay. Could I find someone actually made it? Godot shaders. Whoa, that is a cool shader. Create new folder shaders. I want to show you something. Create new resource shader. Visuals shader? No, regular shader. Parallax mapping. Spatial. Create. A kudos to Binbun from GodotShader.com. I guess. Can I have material? Parallax shader. How do you use it again? Shader material? Mesh texture. Noise 2D. Maybe I need the 3D scene for it. We'll see. You know, you can always mix 3D with 2D. Especially if you want to have some more fancier effects. Mesh. Make it a quad or plane mesh? Quad mesh. Quad mesh, material, new shader material. Am I even showing the right window? Yes, I am. And then quick load shader and do this. That is very cool. Look, there's nothing. Shader parameters. Oh, you can have a noise texture. Let's go. Noise. Fast noise light. That is very cool. It is amazing, actually. Shader parameters, color amp, gradient. Let's say the color should be blue, green, red. That does nothing. That's probably because it's not the right kind of. Normal. You can say, okay, let's use a different noise. Cellular noise. Make it like this. That is very cool shader. Amazing. But I guess it only works for like it only works for 3D because it's a spatial shader. Maybe. Can I have a shader? Nope. Can I have a canvas modulate? Nope, that's just a color. Can I have this is like just messing around now. Yes, I have still a lot of things to do, but I think I did quite a bit today now. A lot of our features currently will be just why is it lagging? Data structures, engines, a renderer, map generator, Or I could just have a regular map. Yeah. Godot. Use spatial material on 3D. Spatial materials are specifically designed for 3D objects, so they cannot be used directly. You should use canvas item materials or shader materials for tailored 2D rendering. Canvas layer. Layer. And I can do parallax test, cool. And then we go into D. And then it does not work. And then we rotate it. And this does not work anyways. Anyway, this is very cool shader. Didn't the Kenny had planets? No, that's just a planet shader. That's a fantasy shader. Browse shaders. 2D, maybe. Shader type. Canvas item. Okay. Overlapping this. Okay, BRG, nope. Which, what? Retro parchment paper. That looks interesting. Creates an old parchment for a retro manuscript style. Okay. Apply the shader to a sprite 2D texture or a rectangle. And how do you apply it? Canvas texture. Yeah? Or do I create just another shader? Resource file, shader, canvas item, create, paste. Then if I go to shaders and rename it to parchment shader and resource script sprite 2D sprite 2D gradient texture. How did that do it? Or do I just do this and it just works? Apply the shader to a texture rectangle. Canvas item. Canvas layer. No idea. What is this? Wait, it should have the basic Godot logo. Yeah. We added this and can now we apply the shader just like this? No? Or we need to apply it to the layer? Canvas layer. Layer transform. Process? How do you apply it? Godot apply canvas shader. Canvas item. Canvas item shaders used to draw 2D elements in Godot. Blend mix, built-ins, vertex, and how do you use it? Normal, fragment. Any videos on it? Okay, there's a video on it. Why is it such a long video? Why is it a visual shader? Okay, tries a thing, it tries a shader. That is insane tutorial for a shader. Videos, come on, I just want to add on a thing. Okay, UV coordinates, write the shader. Scale. Oh, it's a texture. Okay. We have a sprite, material, new shader material, and shader. Quick load, parchment. Oh wait, delete. And we have parchment. Good. If you go here, go to the shader parameters, you can change the noise scale, net. Okay. So if we go like this and we say, hey, add a sprite 2D. Let's say it will be canvas texture, maybe? Texture, specular, nope. Image texture, mesh texture. Noise texture, sure. New fast noise light, yep. Move the position here, yep. Material, new shader material. Cloud parchment. And now we move back, and now we have space. Whoa, we have space, mate. Nice. Okay, so I guess I will be doing the fog in a way. Look, 2D procedural terrain can be pixel art generated. Nice. That is pretty cool. Yeah, we may be able to use those shaders later. Ooh, 2D black hole shader. That's very cool. Fluid glass, fractal noise, clouds. People made so many. Copy. And the plus side on these, we just do this. And how is it done? Shader parameters, base color. Do you need to have a regular sprite maybe? Where's the Godot sprite? Hey Godot sprite, come here. Material, new shader material. Quick load. Parchment, which is not technically parchment. Gradient texture. Shape. Shape texture. Shape. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just messing around. Ooh. Okay. I should be probably finishing up. Pixel transition. It's just so much good to just look at the shaders, which is literally just kind of magic. You know? Shaders are magic. People writing shaders arc wizards. Master mathematicians and stuff. So, let's see. Let's undo that thingy. I don't need it anymore. I have areas and I can travel between the areas. Yes. Now we need, I guess, something that will generate all of the areas, which will be, I guess, a star map. Game state basically saving. And slowly create the objects, I guess. Yeah. Left click, drag. Snaps to the center of the star system. And do you have a traveling? And the traveling should be able to work even in like a subsystem. Like we have a star, we have planets, and it should be able to work like this too. Actually, I probably can even do that now. Let's go here. And we say, sure, the star. Control Shift A. Hover area. Maybe hover area should be a tool, so I could see the changes. Tool. So now if I go here, build it. Will it work or will it crash? Okay, that does not help. Undo. So we have hover area 50. And this is a star sprite. And now we do this, and we do hover area, we have a planet. And we do this, and now we have another area, we have the moon area. Then 20. Now we run like this. Now we have multiple areas, and then we can do. What's up with that? Why are you doing like this? Oh, because it's 0, 0, it's relative. Okay, I found the bug then. I found the bug. A bug is... we hide this. I don't need this book anymore. About much I will be doing today. I found a bug. Position. Relative to the parent. Nope. Global position. Yep. That was a bug. So now, what? Now it orbits this. Why jump from this? Why are these not setting? Are these too tiny? I don't seem to have the areas. Mm, 50. Save. Could be because it's on the wrong layer. Position, no, not position, ordering. Is it because it's not visible? See, the pointer does not. Oh, it's because the scales are a mess here. Yeah. It's because of the texture scale. It's like the scale is like this actually. Just does not reduce the size for some reason of the textures. Why? Why you cannot reduce the sprites just not by using the texture? And then all the hover areas are kind of not working because the wrong scale, so I need to be 1000. And maybe it will work. Yeah, you see? This scaling issue. But yeah, we go like this, draw this, we can jump here, now it orbits this, we jump here, now we orbit this. Let's go. Feature. Let's commit this change. Hover area. Home star map. Very simple thing like text using relative positions, I guess. Yeah, and now we can travel back. We can travel here. Now we travel here, travel here, travel here, travel here. It's a bit finicky, and it of course it does not want to show anyways. Hey, Godot. Godot, come on. That's the wrong window, you idiot. Specific window. No, this one. Same executable, maybe. Good. Again, was talking just by nothing. Anyways, now the scaling issue is still there for this map, but otherwise, I can travel between the planets, I can travel here, I can travel to the smaller one. I don't know why I picked that one. Because likely I need to enter and exit to actually count it. But I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this. Yeah, you see, I need to enter for it to count. Kinda bug. Yeah, it only sets the start position on enter. Wait, it says like this. Entered, exited. Another bug. Another bug. Hover area. No, UI pointer. If I'm hovering and I left, I also need to set the start position. Start point to the end point. Flip it around, basically. I'm pretty sure all of this weird logic can later be exploited. Hop. Yeah, fixed it. Ah, that's so good. Teeny tiny collider. So tiny it does not register. Good. Fixed. Setting the end position on mouse release. Good, 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 good. How much time is it? I think that's enough for the coding. And then, yeah, that's enough for coding. That's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. I would say I'm quite proud of myself for doing this. The UI element, which is very important in terms of like, the game will be about kind of space logistics. You can tell about the planets, space logistics. So you will need to actually be able to move between places, and this is a critical point of where you will be doing that. For example, transporting cargo. So you'd be just traveling between the systems. You're getting into the system, which is this map, travel in between this system, and you shift around the cargo basically. And you go to places, you can build, you will be able to build things, and it will basically be a big economy, maybe a bit other kind of game. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll be stopping. Is there anything I can do like this? Probably not. So YouTube, bye-bye. I will back a bit later with Elite Dangerous. Yeah, I'll go play a bit of Elite. How much time is it actually? Yeah, I'll go grab myself a snack, something to eat,